G'day guys, I'm AJ and Merry Christmas! Yes, it is only at the beginning of December, but Christmas must last forever. Or as long as people can stand it, because most people can't stand it until December. I will stand it right after Halloween, but rest of my family, except for my youngest brother, but the rest of my family, other than my youngest brother, is like, no. Especially with the Christmas music. I mean, even that I will get a little bit tired of if I hear it every day since November, so, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm also sick, so if I sound weird or cough or sound weird, it's because I'm sick. And that's also why I didn't post on Saturday and why I didn't make this video yet, because I couldn't talk. I was like, yeah, it was annoying because I have all these thoughts in my head. You know, I have ADHD, you know, I just wanted to talk everyone's head off like I normally do, and I couldn't talk. Like, I thought of something funny, and I was like, look, but, like, at the same time, it wouldn't make sense if I just went, like, I would have to, like, explain it, like, this thing is like this, and, like, some of those things don't last, so, like, it wouldn't make sense to type it out, like, the moment would be gone, so, it was torture. Anyway, let's actually get on to the topic of the video. I want to talk about Elf, particularly Buddy the Elf, the movie Elf, and Buddy the Elf, who is not an elf. Who is a human who was raised by elves. Sorry if that's spoilers. But yeah, there will be spoilers for Elf in this. Go and watch it. If you haven't watched it, what are you doing? Have you been living under a rock? I know that some people aren't the biggest fans of Elf. I know that for a lot of people it's because it's, because he shouts a lot. And I never thought of that until I watched reviews and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess he does. And then I also know that people don't like it because it's kind of disgusting. Like, but it's just like parts of it. And once you like look at the movie in general, it's just like these tiny little scenes that you can block out. And spaghetti with maple syrup on its own is actually really good. I haven't tried it. I've tried spaghetti bolognese with syrup because my brother had made spaghetti bolognese with syrup, and then he realized it had mushrooms in it, and he's like, I don't want this. It's like, dude, you should have decided that before you put maple syrup in the bolognese bit. I really want to try spaghetti with with maple syrup without the bolognese bit. I guess bolognese and maple syrup does make mayonnaise together. That's fun. Anyway, what I'm saying is, Elf is a good movie. You should watch it. There are much more disgusting movies out there. It is not that bad. You can watch the musical. That has no disgusting bits and no controversial stuff. It's just awesome. You can watch it on YouTube because it's not out anymore and I want to watch it properly. But do also watch the movie. Alright, let's go to my actual theory. My theory is that he has autism and ADHD. Buddy the Elf has autism and ADHD. I mainly noticed this because I have autism and ADHD, and one time when I was with my friend watching it, I was thinking, hey, he's a lot like me and my friend, because he also has ADHD and autism. His ADHD isn't as, obvious as mine, and other people I know who have autism as well. His autism is the first thing that I noticed. I noticed it after saying one sentence to him. I was only actually asked him, do you have autism by chance? After maybe 3 sentences, 5 sentences. Autistic people just have this voice sometimes. Sometimes they have this voice that and it sounds like autism. And he's like, oh, I always wondered what my accent was. Yeah, and it does kind of sound like an accent, except it can sound a little bit different on Americans and Australians and all that stuff. Anyway, back to Buddy, thing we're actually meant to be talking about. And once I actually, and my friend actually pointed out that he's probably autistic. At the same time, I was like, yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I thought it was just me wanting to relate to someone, And then this year I decided to make a video of it, and I was planning this video for a long time, and then I got my voice lost, and I'm just like, no! It was meant to be just the 1st of December, why? Yeah. Yeah, but I typed into YouTube, Buddy, or Elf Autistic is what I typed in. And it turns out that, Chloe Hayden, a very, famous autistic and ADHD, person. It's confusing because you say, I am autistic, but you also say, I have ADHD. You can't say, I am ADHD-istic. Yeah. But yeah, she is those things as well. And it's just like, oh, someone's already thought of it. It's gonna look like I've copied them. But I don't care. I really want to make this video, and I'm gonna make this video. Plus, hers is blurry, so mine's better. No, it's not. But anyway, I'm gonna try my best with my croaky voice. Alright. So, he is meant to be acting just like a child. And he does act just like a child would. But I wanted to point out things that, overlap with, children particularly. A lot of people say that, when I reveal that I'm autistic, one person said, I just thought you were young-minded, and these days I just say, I'm not even an inner child, it's not even an inner child, I'm a child. And let's just start with the beginning, with Buddy's, special interest. Whenever I'm looking to make sure if this person has, autism, a character, I look for their special interest, because normally that's the make and break sort of thing. Like with Belle in, Beauty and the Beast. I was about to say in Disney, but there's probably another person called Belle in Disney, or at least called Bella or something. I don't know. I haven't watched all the Disney things in the world, but there probably is a TV show or something with someone called Belle. Or a dog. Anyway, with her, a lot of people said maybe she's autistic, and we do relate to her a lot, but I can't think of what her special interest is. Mum said, books, and I'm like, it would be a particular book, and she didn't have a favourite book, but that book was like set in a castle. So if she had that special interest, so if she was autistic, she would have that special interest, and then when she went into the castle, she would be like geeking out, like I would if I went into a Beauty and the Beast set. Even though the Beauty and the Beast isn't one of my biggest special interests, I would be geeking out on that small special interest. So just, yeah. But Buddy has a pretty obvious special interest, which is, but it's also just like Christmas. Yeah. But he says that quote. He doesn't say Christmas in a big voice. But it's hard to find a kid who doesn't love Christmas, and he acts like a 5-year-old the whole time. That's the whole thing. So you could argue that he is just, but you could also argue that he is that and autism and ADHD. And there's a lot of kids, like there were therapists who watched this, and they said he acts a lot like people with ADHD. And yeah, I can definitely see how he is ADHD. He is just full of energy all the time. And, you know, there are kids who are kids, but are still, like, shy and not completely full of energy, you know? Yeah. And, but then at the same time, he could just, you know, kids just do sometimes act like that and don't have ADHD. So, you know, it's just a theory. A film theory. Yes, I said it. Because it is technically a film theory. I'm not allowed to say that. What are you talking about? I forgot to remove my human ears. So there you go. Now I have my elf ears back. Because, yeah, I'm secretly an elf. I'm not going to remove my tallness because this is, I like being this tall. Sorry to small people. Nothing against you. Sorry, now this is, now that sounds, you know. Sorry if that sounded discriminate. I'm not meaning to be discriminate. I'm meaning to be non-discriminate. But yeah, there's a lot of things about Buddy that I can completely relate to. Like, for example, while we're on the topic, let's just get it out of the way. With the guy that Buddy thinks is an elf, what was his name? Miles Finch. Yeah. When he said, "Say I'm an elf, say I'm an elf." Like, I totally take those things literally as well. And even though I was in a tense situation, I've been like, that's what you wanted me to do. I think that even most kids might tap into the thing of, I don't think he actually wants me to say that. He's like, I don't know what it's called when you're saying something in I don't know what, an expression. I think that's an expression. Yeah, that's what that one's called. Buddy also stims. He does like this sort of thing, which is totally something that I do too. But at the same time, everybody stims. Every human being, and probably every elf stims. I just stimmed right then. But the main thing about Buddy is he's just an unfiltered me. And a lot of other people with ADHD and autism have said that that's exactly what he seems like. And after watching it, I really want to go out and do all the things that he does, except for chewing gum off No, you know what I mean. I don't even like chewing gum at all, let alone someone else's. So I think that the running round in this, I forgot what those doors are called, but the doors that go in a circle, I was always confused by them. Like, how do you get out of there? How does that even work? I once used one of those doors, but it was like in a public place. I think I was going for a job interview, so I didn't want to do that when I was meant to be being a civil grown-up at a job interview. If I was me and I had time, I would do it now. Even if I was in a job interview. And I was just like, oh, that was way easier than I thought it would be. But I think that the experience of going round and round is actually a sensory thing. And yeah, as someone who loves sensory things, yeah, I'd totally do that. And as a kid, and even as a now, when I spin and spin and spin, I get dizzy, but that doesn't make me stop. I want to keep spinning, and I like the feeling of being dizzy in the spinning way. Like, I don't like the feeling of being dizzy without actually have spinning. Like, when you get up and you get a head spin, I hate that. But, I kind of like the feeling of being spinny. And stimming again. I think that a lot of elves, buddies shouting, and like, and that sort of thing, is actually his vocal stems. Something that is also, can be considered stimming, but also can be considered a sensory thing, is singing. And Buddy loves to sing but who doesn't love singing? Like, if you had no filter, even people, if I didn't know that I was a bad singer, I would sing all the time. I really would. And when I'm when I'm alone, I do sing all the time. That's another reason why I hated losing my voice before. We were setting up the Christmas tree and I wanted to sing along to the Christmas songs and I couldn't. It was really annoying. And the other thing is, with Buddy being really loud, and some people find that annoying and therefore not liking the movie, people found that were like that with me as well. And I didn't understand what it was that I was doing wrong. Like, when I was in year 2, so that's when I was 8, people still found me annoying because I was still acting like a 5-year-old. I had so much energy and I was so happy and positive about everything, and people were like, why are you so happy? People got really annoyed by me, and I wasn't meaning to be annoying. You know, I was just being me. And of course I've learnt to mask that, and I also don't want to annoy people, even if I'm being me, by doing that. But at LARP, which stands for Live Action Roleplay, if you don't know what that is, just Google it, because that's not what this video is about. But I do be a character. One of my characters is just basically letting out all my autisticness, and the main feeling that everyone feels towards her is absolute annoyance. Like, she's actually meant to be, like, her character that I created was mainly meant to be letting my autisticness come out. Like, she's a guinea pig cross rabbit person, which is all my special interests. Like, my 2 biggest special interests. And yeah, I just try to be as unfiltered autistic as possible. Which does sometimes end up inappropriate things, like, but her whole origin story was, I was born yesterday. is being a kid. Like, she's now, like, maybe 1.5 now. Because, on the first day that I played her, she was literally born yesterday. And yes, that does work with my, LARP things. That's why she took everything literally. Because she was born yesterday. And we do act like very sheltered people, us autistic people. And my carer's here, goodbye. When Buddy goes into the workplace with his dad, I've got his dad's name, he does so many autistic things, like he likes the dress that the lady's wearing, he calls it purpley, and that is something we would totally do. Because like even colours can be stimulating and awesome for us. And the name Francisco, when he's saying it over and over again, that is definitely a verbal stim. Francisco. I want to say that now, randomly, as a stim. Francisco. Francisco. You know, like, that is something that we would totally say if we were unfiltered. And there's so many more in there. It would take me forever just to list them all. So tell me in the comments if there's any that I missed, because I know that there are. Tell me the ones that I missed in the comments, the scenes that you related to, if you have autism or ADHD. Tell me, do you think he has both autism and ADHD? Do you think he has none? If you have autism or ADHD or both, tell me, how do you relate to him? How much do you love this movie? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Why are you still here if you hate it? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when I talk about one of my autistic interests. Well, rant about is a more accurate description. But bye!